Welcome, everybody. This is Marius from Aspen Experience, and in today's interview, I'm sitting with Luca. Hi, Luca. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Marius.
A pleasure, as always. Luca is currently finishing his last year of studies as a hotel management student with American Hotel Academy in Brasov. And he has done an internship with us back in 2021. Since then, he managed to secure a concierge position with Ecos Hotel in Andalusia, Spain. And now he's interested in going back to the United States. Let's jump right into it and see what he does nowadays, how Aspen Experience has assisted him when starting his career, and how he has benefited from that. Luca, before getting into the G1 program and before getting to work with us, what was your professional life like?
It's a good question because my professional life before you guys, it was zero, just zero. I'm lucky enough to be in a good college. I'm in American Hotel Academy in Brasov, and we have mandatory internships. But unfortunately, due to the pandemic in 2020 actually, the academic year 2019-2020. At the end of the academic year, I had to do an internship starting in May, but obviously it was when the pandemic, it was at his first peak, and the internship was canceled. So that was my first year of studies without an internship, unfortunately. But then in the second year, I was wondering what to do because I had the opportunity to do the internship, and I was like, Aspen Experience sounds good to me. And I knew a colleague of mine from my college that applied with you, Flavia. Thank you, Flavia.
Okay. Thank you, Flavia. I'll catch up with her too at some point.
Yeah. And she was like, hey, I met these guys. The process went so fast, so easily. And our internship was supposed to start in June or something. And she applied in October. And by the end of the winter, she was done with all the paperwork. And I was like, damn, that's fast. And I was like, let's do it.
Okay, so you heard about us from your colleague, from Flavia. And what exactly convinced you to sign up with us? Was it the fast process that Flavia was mentioning? Was it something else?
To be honest, I don't really know, because in that time I was helped by some other agencies, and they had good opportunities as well. But I don't know, they were moving slowly, and you had some nice hotels in your portfolio, and I was like, let's just stick with Aspen Experience.
Okay. Walk me through what happened after you signed up with us. How would you describe the way our team guided you through the process?
So firstly, I had the interview to assess my English level, which, by the way, back then it was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. But you told me that you guys told me that wouldn't be a problem, even though I only have to know English in such a way that I can manage myself there, and the employer would like it. And I had that interview. Then you gave me the list of the hotels. I was just choosing whichever I wanted. And you told me that you have a good hotel for me in Snowmass, and you guided me throughout the process. I had the interview, and with the embassies and everything, it was just a fast process and straightforward.
I'm happy to hear that, Luca. And I must mention, you are selling yourself short. I remember the initial interview with you, and your English was not that bad at all. But I appreciate your very high standards. Tell me, please, what made you decide to choose Viceroy Snowmass to do your internship with? How did you think it's going to be beneficial for you?
I was just looking at the place by itself, like the hotel itself. It looks stunning, and the area as well. It's in Snowmass around Aspen, which is like the most expensive ski town. And I was like, damn, sounds good. And to be honest, I like the small communities. Like, I'm not a city boy at all, even though they differently. And I was like, it's a small community in the mountains. Everybody knows each other, that kind of place. And the interviewer that I had, it was Trent. He was so nice and he was so well intentioned to with us and everything. And I could sense it, and I was like, let's go here. I mean, I didn't have any experience in my resume. I didn't have anything, and I just took the first opportunity.
Like Trent beautifully puts it, he always says he doesn't hire for experience or skills, he hires for attitude and personality. You can always train skills, but you can't really train personality. So I think he was right.
Yeah,
Talking about all these interviews, the employer interview, the sponsor interview, the visa interview, how did our team prepare you for those in order for you to maximize your chances of being approved?
First of all, you were very responsive. Like the very first second I was texting you, you guys were there for me. And I can remember I was 19, I was excited. I was 20 actually, and I was excited, and I was like, hey, can we do this? And I mean, there were childish questions, and you never said, just leave me alone, or you never replied. You never replied in a bad manner. You were always there for us to help us and to guide throughout the whole process.
I'm happy to hear this feedback, Luca. And just like that, we connected you what it seems to have been the right employer at the right time, and you found your way in Aspen to do your 12 months internship. Now, I must admit, you fall under the category. They say you would much faster turn clients into friends than friends into clients, and you fall into that category. It's gonna be next week is gonna be 1 year from probably the best birthday I ever had, and I'm very happy to share those memories and remember that you were part of that day. Let's talk a little bit about the cultural experience. How was Aspen and how was that internship in the US? How did you experience the American culture and what did you do outside work?
To be honest, it was one of the best experiences in my life. And I mean, I'm the first in my close family that went that abroad, and in my group of friends also. And everybody was like, yo bro, you've been to America, you've been to United States, you've been there, you did that, how was it? And I'm telling everyone, it was the best experience in my life, professionally and personally as well, because when I got there I was a child, and when I left I was still a child, but I felt like I had one more brain, honestly. I I developed myself personally and spiritually and everything so much.
I'm very happy to hear that, Luca. And I remember the initial talks that we had, which were probably 2 years ago. I can definitely see the growth. And the way I like to put it, Aspen helps you grow up in a very fun way. And I can definitely see a true professional in you. And you are interviewing now with Hotel Jerome to get back to Aspen for your second internship. And yeah, it looks like your previous experience really helped. Would you mind sharing with us how long did it take for you to recover your initial investment and start saving some money?
This is the fun part to tell, actually, because in the beginning, I was there and I had no experience and I had to work myself up on the ladder. But when you're determined and motivated and professional, first of all, the managers and everybody sees that, and they gave you the opportunities. They gave you the tools. You just have to use them. And in the beginning, I remember I was making a lot of money for Romania, but not enough for Aspen, obviously. Aspen is a very expensive place, as everybody knows. and I was not necessarily unhappy, but I was feeling unsettled, and I was always asking for more and more and more. And I was not just asking, but I was prepared for it. And the managers saw it, and they gave me more and more and more. And I remember at some point I worked 16 hours a day. I don't recommend that, but it was worth. It was definitely worth it. And to answer your question properly, I think to recover the initial investment, it took me like, in the end, I could have recovered it in, I don't know, a month at the end of it. But in the beginning, it took me like, let's say, 3-4 months max.
Okay. It's worth mentioning. It's a very valuable feedback that you're sharing right now, because at the beginning, interns, they start working in those entry level positions, right? Then once you step up in your internship and you get into those serving roles as well, on being in front of the customers more, then you're starting to make more money and more money. So I always appreciated your patience and the fact that you didn't have to, you didn't really come to us to solve your problems. You came to us to ask for an advice. We gave you an advice, and then you went there and solved your own problems by discussing directly with your supervisors, respectfully, sharing what you need, sharing what your wishes are, and making it happen. So congratulations for that.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate that.
What would you say, Luca? What would you say that out of all this experience what has been the one piece that had the biggest impact on you?
Out of this experience in United States, as
Yes.
work, traveling, and all of that?
Yeah, the entire J1 internship experience, work, traveling, friends, everything. What was the one thing that had the highest impact on you?
To be honest, I would say the people, because you meet people with different cultures, with different set of values, with different everything. And although you're so different in the core, you still have similarities, you still make friends. I was in love there. And it was amazing. And you met a lot of people, you make friendships for life, and you see the opportunity, you're networking. And I would say the people. It was
I agree with you, Luca, 100%. Some people say the work experience, some people say boosting your resume, improving your English, some people say the financial gains. But I agree with you 100%. Networking is, it just, at least for me, during my G1 experience, networking was the most important thing. All these people that you meet from different countries, different cultures, and you keep in touch during the years, and then you get to visit each other in each other's countries, and maybe professionally you get to partner up with them at some point. So for me, networking was the most important part as well. I'm glad you see it that way.
Yes, and I will give you an example just to have a proper example. When I was working in Viceroy, I met a client, and he just liked me, and he said, I like that you're motivated, I like your courtesy. And he was like, I know a GM, and I would like you to have a meeting with him. Maybe you can have something to learn. And I was like, are you kidding? Of course I have something to learn. And he made that meeting possible. Like, he texted his friend, which was a GM, and I just met him, and I went with him for a coffee, and we ended up talking. I think it was a 4 hours meeting, just sharing experience and me asking questions. I would rate that meeting as a 1-year college classes, honestly.
True. You get to learn from their experience in a few hours, much more than you get to learn in a few years of school. Yeah. Finally, Luca, do you have a piece of advice for someone that wants to have the experience that you had and they don't know where to start?
The only advice I would give them, just be open to the opportunities and take advantage of them. Like if you have the opportunity to go in an internship or to get experience, just do it. Because it's a quote that I love. I want to do something, but I'm scared. Then someone's replied, do it scared. It doesn't matter.
They're scared anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
You only grow in uncomfortable position. Nobody grew in the comfort zone. So just take advantage of opportunities, sign up with Aspen Experience, and they will send you to United States to do the experience of your life.
Thank you, Luca. Thank you for such a valuable feedback and advice. And also thank you for the gratitude and recognition. Looking forward to seeing you back in Aspen. It should be a couple of months and you'll be back there to continue your career and explore other departments and keep growing. And thank you for your time today, Luca.
Hopefully that will happen in a few months, and I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for your time.
Take care, Luca. Bye.